Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Lan from the hashtag Walk with Lan. Wherever you are, I'm greeting you today. And we will be discussing something with regards to front end development. Okay, so today we are going to talk, discuss, and sharing this to you with regards to front end web development, the technology behind everything you see on the client itself and interact with on a website. Okay, so have you ever wondered? But before that, let me just share to you my second screen. Okay, there you are. So I'm just sharing this simple presentation. So have you ever wondered, my dear Kawok, my dear friends, how websites displayed text and images on your respective screens? How buttons work when you click on them, and what would happen when you click on them? Or how websites automatically adjust when you open them on your phone or on your iPads or on your tablets or on your smart TVs. All of that is made possible through the front end development. So, in this video, in this discussion, we will try to explore HTML, or the hypertext markup language. This is the structure of a website. CSS, or uh, yeah, the design and the layout. This is all about the design and the layout. And then when you want to add interactivity, okay, engaging with the user, you will be using JavaScript. And okay, so in the modern frameworks like React, Angular, and Vue, no? Okay. So in my class, they are using React, but responsive design, no, for mobile devices. So when we say responsive, it will adjust accordingly. When you try to open on your application on a phone, it will adjust accordingly or automatically. And then we will be dealing also with the modern tools like the SAS and the LESS. Okay, so it's not only limited to CSS anymore, but in a modern way, we can be able to use SAS and LESS. So by the end of this video, you will clearly understand, okay, how modern websites are built. So if you are ready, let's try to begin. Okay, no. So let us answer the question: what is front end development? Okay, whenever you open a website, whatever website is that, Google, Google.com, Microsoft.com, tip.edu.ph, everything visible on the screen is part of the front end. Whatever you see there, no, the buttons, etc. Okay, that is part of the front end. No, this includes navigation menus, the forward button, the up button, the left button, the back button, etc. No, all the images that you can be able to see and loaded on your screen is part of it. No, the text content, of course, and then the login forms. Okay, so maybe you have there the login forms, that is part of it. All the buttons, layout, and design. So meaning to say, all of the things that you see on your screen is part of the front end. Okay? Now, this one, no, front end, the developers of of the things that you see on your screen right now is when you visit a website, okay, who the responsible of this are the front end developers. They focus on users interfaces and then users' experiences. Sometimes, not sometimes, but we term this as the UI and the UX interfaces. Okay, so what are their goals? The goals, okay, is to make website fast, of course, no? Easy to use, visually appealing, and compatible across devices. That's why that this is related to the term that I used earlier, responsive. No? It will be compatible with other devices, for instance. To achieve this, the developers use three core technologies. One is HTML, okay. The second one is CSS, and the third one is JavaScript. So let's explore them one by one. Okay, let's start with the HTML. Okay, the structure of the website. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. HTML is responsible for creating the basic structure of a web page. But when you just use HTML, it is just static. Think of HTML like the skeleton of human body. Without the skeleton, the body cannot exist. Similarly, without HTML, a web page cannot exist. Okay, so HTML, this is a markup language. No? It defines elements such as the headings, the paragraphs, the links, the images, the buttons, forms, and the tables. Okay, so for example, a simple page might contain a heading for the title, paragraphs for the content, images to illustrate information, links to navigate other pages. So HTML organizes everything in a structured format that browsers can be able to read. Of course, when you try to use all these things that I have mentioned, you need to use a browser. Okay? So, but HTML alone looks very plain, static. This is where CSS comes in. Okay. All right. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. No? CSS controls how a website looks. If HTML is a skeleton, CSS is the clothing and appearance. Okay. And with CSS, developers can control the colors, the fonts, okay, the spacing, the layout, alignment, animations. So it's like the multimedia. Okay, for example, no? Okay. So for example, a website can have a blue background, white text, centered headings, rounded buttons. So it depends on the design of the UI UX designers. Okay, CSS also ensures design consistency across multiple pages. This means the website looks professional and organized. But modern websites must also work on different screen sizes because in the past, these developers would develop an application that fits on that particular device. But nowadays, it should be uh, adjust accordingly. Okay. Now this leads us to responsive design. Okay. And today, people browse the internet using what are those? Okay, smartphones, tablets, laptops, desktop computers. Not only that, maybe smart TVs. Okay, so a website that only works on a large screen will fail on mobile devices. Responsive design ensures that websites adapt automatically to different screen sizes. For example, a desktop website might display 3 columns. Okay, but on a smartphone, it may display 1 column only. Okay, so responsive design uses techniques like flexible layouts. So it will just adjust accordingly. It depends on the device that you are using. Media queries and adaptive images. What does it mean by adaptive images? It will increase or decrease that particular image. Accordingly, it depends on the device that you are using. This ensures that website provides a great experience on any device. Now, let's add interactivity to our website. Okay. All right. So, interactivity, no? It will handle by the JavaScript. No? JavaScript is considered the programming language rather, that makes websites dynamic and interactive and engaging with the user. Without JavaScript, websites would be a static page. Okay? So it will add on the dynamism. It will look the websites as dynamic. JavaScript enables features like the login systems, pop-up messages, interactive menus, image sliders, real-time updates, form validation. For example, when you click a login button, JavaScript checks if your username passwords are correct. No? It will check on the backend. When you fill out a form, JavaScript can instantly verify if the email format is valid. If there is no at sign, maybe that is not definitely that is not valid. Because of JavaScript, websites have more like applications rather than simple pages. Okay? So however, as websites became more complex, developers needed better tools. This led to the creation of JavaScript frameworks. Okay. But nowadays, no, it is quite evolving. Okay? Frameworks help developers build applications faster and more efficiently. Of course, especially students, they have um, time constraints. So that's why it needs them to have a framework that they can be able to build applications in couple of months or in couple of weeks, and then at the same time more efficiently. Some of the most popular frameworks include React.js, okay, Angular, and Vue.js. These frameworks allow developers to create reusable components, manage complex user interfaces, improve performance, organize code better. For example, a navigation bar can be written once and reused across multiple pages. Frameworks are widely used in modern platforms such as Facebook, Netflix, Airbnb, and Gmail. Because in Facebook, no, sometimes they need an update today, and then tomorrow they need another update, something like that. So that's why they need a framework for them to make the development process much faster. They are essential tools for professional front end developers. Okay, so nowadays there are extensions in CSS. Okay, cascading style sheet. No, that these are the SAS and the less. So as websites grew larger, managing CSS became difficult. Developers introduced CSS preprocessors like the SAS and the less. These tools extend CSS by adding powerful features such as variables, nesting, reusable functions, better code organization. For example, instead of repeating colors everywhere, developers can define a single variable that makes styling easier and more maintain you can be able to maintain it easily. Okay, maintainable, maintainable. All right, something like that. Uh you just define a single variable, and then you assign that particular color to that variable, and then uh so that you should not be repeating, no, defining that particular colors everywhere. Okay, okay, now, okay, so okay, so let's summarize what we have learned today. But how many minutes now? Okay. All right, so let's summarize what we have learned today, my dear friends. Okay, so there are two things, no, that we need to know with website development. We have the front end and we have the back end. Okay, but today we have learned about the front end development, and it focuses on the visual and interactive part of a website. Okay, everything what you see on your screen, and then it adds interactivity. That is the front end. Okay, the core technologies include the HTML, it builds a structure, the CSS, it creates a style, the JavaScript, it adds functionality and interactivity, engaging, and yeah. Okay, so modern tools that we are using now, these are React, Angular, the Vue, SAS, and the less. The React, it is being owned by Facebook. Okay. Now, this one it helps developers build powerful and responsive web applications using these tools that I have mentioned. If you want to become a web developer, learning front end development is an excellent starting point. Thank you for watching. And but before that, wait lang. Okay, so thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it helpful and you have learned something today. See you in the next lesson. Have a great day.